Once again, it's time for the Team Lift podcast with your hosts, Brandon Bowie and Roderick McDaniel. Let's go ahead and get right into the show. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Roderick McDaniel, coming back to you with another episode of the Team Lift podcast. Got my, the Batman to my Joker. Brandon Bowie's in here with me. Brandon, what's going on, buddy?
Can I be Killer Croc?
You could be Killer Croc. We could, you know what? We should just be the Suicide Squad of podcasts. We're just going to be the criminals. We are not heroes. We are those guys. And especially if you were a fan of the Ghostbusters video game, Batman vs. Superman, or the Ghostbusters film franchise, we are probably your Suicide Squad. We are your enemies. We have made you mad at some point on this podcast, and we are not trying to put negative vibes out. We just like to call shit and good. Okay. Oh man, you know what? That almost sounded negative. I'm turning into you. I think I'm becoming the grouchiest man in America. Oh man,
my plan is working.
Yeah, you're slowly taking over the world. Okay, man, this is going to be a fun episode, guys, because today we're going to talk to them about stuff that it's things that we probably haven't discussed over the last couple episodes.
Stuff that's fallen through the cracks since Comic-Con, basically.
Yeah, this really is. This is stuff that we didn't get to cover over the last couple of episodes with everybody.
Some stuff that I think is fucking cool or interesting or whatever.
Yes. Let's knock this out, man. Let's kind of get into it. One of my favorite things that I think you have really made me even more of a fan of it because of our friendship is the CW.
Yeah.
And their DC run.
Their continuing fucking domination of television.
Yeah, CW and DC, the only four letters you need to put together, and they spell killer. Okay. Mm-hmm. So there was a cool thing that we kind of missed. We know that Superman is coming to Supergirl.
Yep. Okay, this was fucking hilarious. There was a poster that CW put out that said, Superman is coming in Supergirl.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was like, as soon as I saw it, somebody put an Archer meme on the bottom with phrasing, and I was
phrasing.
Like,
really, guys?
Yeah.
This is how you're advertising? I mean, okay. Yeah. There's somebody in South Carolina who likes this.
Our numbers in Arkansas just went through the roof on this show.
All the southern states.
Yeah, I saw that, and I just kept thinking...
The Bible Belt just took a 10% jump in Supergirl viewership.
Who approved that poster? Who approved that poster? To this day, I don't know who that guy is, but he deserves an Emmy.
I want to interview that person.
Yeah, he needs to come on our show, because I was like, how did you do it?
He or she, whoever it is.
Yeah, whoever did it, you're a hero to Team Lift. You're our kind of guest. Oh,
that's gonna be the name of this episode.
Yeah, be our guest.
No, the Superman is coming in Supergirl. That's gonna be the name of this episode.
Yeah, we are earning our adult rating. We've owned our. But this is not your children's podcast. Okay? You may already want to send them out the room based on how this has started. Oh man. But based on it, Tyler, I know I'm going to screw this guy's name. I think it's Hoechlin. I want to say it's Tyler Hoechlin. He's going to be the Superman that is going to be doing things to Supergirl. And
he's coming in Supergirl.
He's coming in Supergirl. And we're like, whoa, okay. The cool part about it is they have a video where it was so cool. At Comic-Con, there were a bunch of fans that were, lucky enough to sit down with the cast and talk about the upcoming season and all its changes. And then to everybody's surprise, Tyler walks into the room. Superman walks into the room. And let's just say people geek out about this. And he does like a 6-minute interview with fans. And he's talking about stuff about what he's going to try to bring to the role. And he, knowing how iconic the role is. And this is before he had been fitted for the costume.
Yeah.
He had not been fitted for the costume yet. So that was cool because he says that during this interview. It's like maybe a 6-7 minute video. I watched it. I really like him. I already like him.
You know what's funny is that he used to be on the Teen Wolf show that was on.
Yes. I mean, look.
He's definitely stepping up. I mean, he's got a good agent, whoever the fuck it is.
Whoever is his agent, they deserve an award, okay? Because they already got him coming in Supergirl, and
let's hope to God he has more lines on Supergirl than Superman has in Batman versus Superman.
There's a guy who stood on a corner selling T-shirts in the Suicide Squad, and he had more lines than Superman had in Batman versus Superman. No, man, we're gonna quit beating that movie up. It's time.
It's never gonna fucking happen.
Probably never gonna end, but we're gonna one day quit beating that movie up. But it will not be this episode. But no, I really like the new guy. Have you seen the interview?
Yeah, I watched it. I actually watched it way back in the day when it came out, around the time the Comic-Con was going on, and I enjoyed it. Hopefully he doesn't suck. I mean, he's not coming after Christopher Reeves, so he doesn't really have a lot to live up to. I mean, that was very difficult for the Atom to do when the Atom was Superman.
Oh, yeah.
And then, the current Superman, not that great, to be honest.
You're not I like Henry Cavill.
I like Henry Cavill. He looks the part. He's Superman in every sense of the word. He has bad writing.
I agree.
If somebody would write a fucking Superman movie where Superman is actually not just brawling and beating people and like breaking things, if we could actually have a cerebral Superman at some point where Superman can't use his powers to solve the problem, where he actually has to think and do and act and be the Superman that we know from the comics and that we know from the animated shows, then Superman might have, there might be something that we could, have to look up to or to look forward to or to compare against. Because right now we can compare this guy basically to an empty chair.
Yeah, he's coming in. He does not have to. All he's got to do is be good. Now let's face it, that Supergirl's good.
Oh yeah,
she's good, and I don't think.
And her and the Flash together, that's the best.
Yeah, bro.
The best.
Here's my thing that they've done. The writers here get the characters.
And they're not... Everything doesn't have to be so fucking dark.
Which they've done... I still think this is Zack Snyder that has fucked up the DC Cinematic Universe. I will go to my grave thinking he fucked up the DC Cinematic Universe with this dark, edgy universe. Superman should have never been a dark character. I don't care. I don't give a shit who you are.
Superman is a Boy Scout. He's the fucking shining light of DC.
He is hope.
Yeah.
Hope personified. I don't want a dark, brooding Superman. I want a Superman that's like, my life is shitty enough on Mondays.
Yeah.
Superman's supposed to be my ray of sunshine.
If I want dark, brooding Superman, I'll just go play Injustice for a little while.
Thank you. I don't need it in a movie.
I don't need it in a movie. I don't need 2 hours of him fucking moping around because he's basically God.
Yeah. I'm sad because I'm God, and I have godlike powers. Let me have your powers. I promise you. I'm going to have Michelle Obama twerking in my music videos. I don't give a damn about anybody. Melania Trump is going to be in my videos in a swimsuit twerking, okay? I don't give a damn about your problems. I'm a god, okay? I really like this guy. I'm going to definitely... I'm tuning in. I'm giving the first... I'm setting a rule. First 5 episodes of Supergirl this season, I'm getting hyped by. And then when I said that, they wouldn't do something to even hype me up even more. Mm-hmm. Supergirl set images are out on the internet right now. And I don't know if you've seen these. I think you have. Yeah. But these are like iconic Superman poses. So we see Tyler in his Clark Kent outfit, glasses and the dress shirt.
See, now
opening the shirt to see the Superman under it.
This is the fundamental difference between DC and Marvel. On Marvel's end of things, they're people who put on costumes to save people, but the costume is that. It's a costume. The person underneath is the character. With DC, it's the opposite. Superman is the person. Batman is the person. Bruce Wayne is the mask. Clark Kent is the mask.
Yes, very much so.
And that's the fundamental difference between the two.
Oliver Queen is the mask for Arrow.
Yeah.
We know the Green Arrow is who he truly is.
Yeah.
At his core. Oliver Queen is the cover up to who
Yeah.
he is at his core.
Whereas like Captain America is his costume. He takes that off at the end of the day.
Yeah, he's Steve Rogers.
He's Steve Rogers all the way.
And he's not much different than that Boy Scout that is Captain America.
Yeah.
But he's Steve Rogers. It's always, at Marvel, it's always about the person.
Yeah.
Steve Rogers acts a certain way, and that certain way he acts influences Captain America. Whereas
Hail Hydra.
Batman is the true incarnation of the character.
Yeah. When Batman hears the voice in his head, the voice is calling him Batman.
Yeah.
It's not calling him Bruce.
It doesn't call him Bruce. Bruce is his alter ego.
Yeah.
He plays in a role when he's Bruce. And I love that. But, you know, this is one of my... They geeked me out. I saw these pictures of him busting out of his shirt and the Superman logo was under it, and I got geeked out. And he looks like Clark. He's Clark Kent as fucking those glasses and that suit. I mean, you know what I mean? Look at that. He's got on the shirt and the suspenders and the glasses. He is so Clark Kent right there, man. And we're gonna see
him and Jimmy Olsen.
Yes,
together. That's
Jimmy Olsen and Clark Kent together.
I really hope that they have chemistry together when they're on screen, because that's going to be one of the things that's going to sell him as Superman is the chemistry that him and Jimmy Olsen have together. Because at this point, Jimmy Olsen's the only person from the Superman universe or the Superman cast of characters that's on Supergirl on a regular basis.
Right.
I mean, does this mean that we're going to see Lois Lane at some point too?
Man, can we only hope?
And who?
How about this? What about if he does so well
that they spin off
we get
a
a Superman show?
Ooh.
Can we not get it? Okay, first of all, who didn't watch Lois and Clark? I watched Lois and Clark.
And Lois and Clark actually got into some deep shit when Zod showed up and fucking everything started going crazy.
They were look, we always bought into it. It was called Lois and Clark, and it's about the relationship between Clark Kent and...
It's called Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman.
Right. But it was real... Look, first of all, Terry Hatcher's there.
Mm-hmm.
And Terry Hatcher, that woman, thank God for that woman. She is awesome. She is beautiful. She is my Lois Lane. She could be whatever she wants to be to me. In fact, she could come out tomorrow and tell me she's Selena Kyle, and I will, yes, ma'am, you are. We can do that. So, but I love that show. I really did. And I watched it like going, this is supposed to be a romance, but they're selling it to me as a young Roderick bought into Lois and Clark, because I'm getting a lot of Superman on this. Mm-hmm. And I loved it for that. So I really liked it. I like what they're going to do with it. I love this picture with him and Mashad Brooks, I think is his name. He's Jimmy Olsen on the Supergirl show. Yeah. And they just look like buddies right there. It is the perfect buddy picture of those two. Like, he's laughing at something that Mashad has said, and it's just an amazing photo. We need to get that on our page so we can have that for everybody to see what we're talking about. But those are some great photos. Suicide Squad. We have done a Suicide Squad special. We have talked about them several times since the movie has come out. I think it's safe to say you were pleasantly surprised that you enjoyed the film. Mm-hmm. I was very pleasantly surprised that they didn't screw it up. As far as I was concerned, they gave me what I wanted. I think you put them at about a 7 out of 10, around a 70. Yeah. I gave them an 85. I went a little higher. JD, when she was on here, she gave them a 93.
Yeah, she was super high.
Yeah, she was super high on it. And I wasn't far off from her. Okay, so we were both pretty hyped about it. Suicide Squad director, David Ayers, I think he's feeling himself now. He's feeling himself.
He basically echoed a fan. So a fan was at the premiere, and the fan yelled out, "Fuck Marvel," and he was like, "Yeah, that's right, fuck Marvel, fuck Marvel." That's literally the quote of what he said.
That's all it was. But
so on the other side of this coin is Joe Quesada, who used to be creative at DC, is now one of the bigwigs at Marvel, and he's like, I get it, I understand the spirit of competition, no hard feelings, don't care.
Totally not a big issue.
Fucking Marvel class act all the way around.
Totally.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, that at the end of the day, a lot of these guys that work at Marvel have worked at DC. A lot of the guys that work at DC have worked at Marvel. There's a lot of brotherhood and camaraderie between it. One of my favorite things that ever happened was when DC left New York, and they were moving to their Los Angeles digs. Marvel did tributes on all their social media pages saying, you know, we're going to miss you, you know, because it's been us in the Big Apple.
Yeah.
It was us, and you're leaving us. We're still here, but we're going to miss you. It was a class act tribute from Marvel, and I thought it was real cool. I think the fanboys and the fangirls, we make it a competition that Marvel and DC is not really that.
I want to see Marvel and DC fight because I want to see the creative juice that's going to come from that. I want to. It's like Nvidia versus AMD. AMD has been all but vacant, and Nvidia's kind of, they have the market. They can do whatever they want to. They can release a chip at $1,200 and people will buy it because there's nothing competing. And I think that at this point, Marvel's gotten to the point where they know that if DC doesn't bring it and bring it soon, that they're going to fall into that trap of, well, we can put whatever the fuck we want out and it doesn't matter. People are going to come and buy it anyway because there is no DC equivalent of this out there right now. There's no one to challenge us.
Right.
So I think on the Marvel end of things, they're happy that DC's finally coming with movies and that they're finally getting their cinematic universe off the ground, because now they're actually going to have competition and they're going to have to keep up their game, which I think is also a part of the reason why the Marvel Netflix shows are so good and why Marvel is also teaming up with Sony to release that show that's based on Legion.
Yeah.
And why I would hope at some point they're going to get Fantastic Four back in the mix again so that they can bring in Galactus and tell some of those stories.
Yeah.
Because they've got to do something. Like you notice it's not anything malicious on Marvel's part of it, but if you notice that every time DC releases something, Marvel releases something the next day or the same week or the same month. Like Batman versus Superman was going to come out. Oh, here's Deadpool. Oh, Batman versus Superman came out. Oh, here's this. Oh, Batman versus Superman is coming out. Oh, we've got this Netflix show now for you too.
Yeah, no. Seriously, they do.
Suicide Squad came out. Luke Cage is coming out at the end of next month.
Yeah, let's go ahead and drop like 2 of the greatest trailers for the Luke Cage show within one the week before it comes out and one the week after it's been out.
Yeah.
And yeah, they bookended that, Suicide Squad opening pretty nicely. If you hadn't seen it, don't listen to our special because we do warn you, it is pretty spoiler heavy. But still a great movie. We're giving it definitely a must see on the big screen. Speaking of DC news, man, we're kind of going heavy on DC right now.
Okay. So I sent the day that this happened on the 1st, I sent this over to the goddamn Batman at work. The TV Batman. I was like, so you need to get all of your pennies together because here's your chance. Christian Bale's Batsuit from The Dark Knight Returns is up for auction. This is your one chance to be Batman. To really be Batman. To get the suit.
This is the suit from The Dark Knight Rises, the Christian Bale one, which is a badass suit. And it's going on auction September 27th, which is fucking amazing. But listen to this thing. This auction is going to have, I don't know if you saw it, over 570 movie props from 160 films will be auctioned off. But I want you to go look at that bottom line. Thomas Hardy's Bane outfit from The Dark Knight Rises will also be included in that auction.
I just want that coat, man.
I want that whole mask and coat.
I don't care about the mask. I just want the coat.
Bro, I promise you, I would go everywhere talking shit to people in that mask.
You know who else's coat I want? Fallout 4. I want
Preston Garvey?
No, not Preston's coat. Fuck him. The guy who's in charge of the Brotherhood of Steel. I want his coat.
What is that douchebag's name? The one on top of the blimp.
Douchebag McFuckstink. Yeah, on the blimp.
In the blimp. Yeah. Oh,
his coat is badass.
Yeah, it is.
It's almost the same kind of coat as the Bane coat.
Yeah, it is. Man, this is going to be so cool. I saw like the Harry's letter to Hogwarts from Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, a TIE Fighter pilot helmet from Star Wars, and Arnold Schwarzenegger's shotgun from the Terminator. Name anything in that list that you don't fucking want.
All the Harry Potter stuff. I don't care for shit about that.
Bro, let me tell you something. I love the Harry Potter films, but I'd kick somebody in their fucking nuts on cable TV and piss on their wife to get that letter and frame that shit in my house.
And that's the least of what you would do.
That's the tamest thing I would do. If I gotta shank a homeless guy to get Harry Potter's letter to Hogwarts and do it on cable, I'm sorry, homeless guy. I am sorry, but you gotta go. And I am like, dude, that is one of those things. This is going to be one of the greatest auctions ever. I cannot wait to see it. You know something we don't talk about on here?
What?
We cover a lot of stuff in geek culture, and a lot of our fans talk to us about this. We always talk about like DC, Marvel, TV, movies. We cover video games. We cover PC. We don't talk about one of my favorite geekdoms.
Dude, you have no idea how much I love. Like, I have 4 different pairs of pajamas with TARDISes on them. That's how much I fucking
never
love
talk
Doctor Who.
about Doctor Who on this show.
I have a giant... You see that blue thing over there next to the vacuum?
Yeah.
That's a TARDIS fridge.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've seen it. And here we are. Yeah, like people don't know this. We're in the what I call the dungeon, which is where we record the show. But there is a TARDIS fridge here. And you know, like I told you, Cody, one of my best friends, Cody Kenning, who listens to our show, and he said, Brandon and I are the same person. And his car is named the TARDIS. He has a Dodge Magnum nicknamed the TARDIS. He said, because it's bigger on the inside than it looks. and this is his geekdom. He loves Doctor Who, and he's always asking me, you guys have never talked about Doctor Who on the show. We really don't. We are rectifying that now because we heard some Doctor Who news.
I mean, realistically, there's not much to talk about with Doctor Who at this point. We're still waiting for season 10, which is forever and away off from here. We were talking 2017. But what's cool is the previous writers, Moffat, are departing. New writers are coming in, but Capaldi's not leaving, which is fucking awesome because Capaldi is fucking awesome.
Yeah, Capaldi is not leaving. And Moffat said that as far as he knew, Capaldi was staying.
And I think that Capaldi isn't done yet. There's more for him to do before he goes. And he's one of those guys. He's like David Tennant. He was a fan of the Doctor from the time that he was all the way up till now. And he's finally playing the character that he's always wanted to play.
Yes, and he's doing a damn good job at it. They seem to always pick great actors to be the Doctor. Mm-hmm. We've never had I can't think of a bad Doctor.
Okay, so after he's gone, I want Richard Ayoade. You're looking at me like you don't know who the fuck that is. You ever watch the IT Crowd?
Yeah.
Moss.
Yeah.
Richard Ayoade. I want him as the Doctor. Could you imagine him as the Doctor? It'd be fucking great. It'd be fucking great. Yeah.
I'm going to have to let that marinate for a while. But, okay, we've had some Doctor Who rumors flying around because I've heard that David Tennant kind of wants to come back to the show.
Yeah, there's also some kind of weird talk about maybe him regressing.
Yeah,
or just morphing back into the same form that he had before.
That he could go back to it's never been said he couldn't go back to a previous form.
Yeah. And I mean, even if you want to think about it, Capaldi actually, there was a comparison shot. I still haven't been able to find it, but somebody in the Doctor Who subreddit about 2 or 3 months ago posted a picture of Capaldi compared to one of the previous Doctors. I want to say it was like 4 or 5 or something like that. One of the really the one of the Doctors who was about the same age as Capaldi is, and they kind of look almost exactly alike.
Ooh, I need to see that. He doesn't look like 4 because 4 was scarves.
Okay.
Scarves and curly afro, which was my Doctor Who when it was still on PBS and I was a little kid.
It was earlier than that. Then.
Yeah, it would have been possibly 2, possibly 3. I could see that. Yeah. Black and white?
Yeah, it was black and white.
Okay, so he was probably around 2 or 3. Yeah, I am totally cool with this idea. I like Capaldi. I still need to watch more of the episodes. When he came on, I missed so much of that season. Like it was really a hit or miss season. I didn't watch a bad episode. I just didn't get to watch every episode.
Yeah.
So I bet you there's probably still 3 or 4 out there that I didn't see.
Yeah.
And I need to sit down one day. The thing that hurt my heart when Netflix took it off.
So there's a reason why they did that, and BBC is, I believe, going to be launching their own service that's Netflix-like. where they're
Don't play with
going
my
to
emotions
be.
and bring it, because I will subscribe to it to get every episode of.
But
I
that's
mean, subscribe in a minute to get every episode of Doctor Who.
yeah, but you can't get every episode of Doctor Who because the BBC decided a long time ago that it was a good idea to just throw away whole sections of their archive, which included a lot of the original episodes
Yeah, I
of
know, but still, it
Doctor
would be
Who.
awesome to have as much Who as we could have from their archives.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty neat to have that, and I'm telling you, man, it just. I hate
We are getting a
seeing
new
it leave
companion.
Netflix.
The new companion too. New companion.
Oh,
I forgot about her.
Uh,
See, what was her
what's her name? Pearl Mackie?
I think so.
I think her name's Pearl Mackie. Very pretty African American woman. I don't think she's African American. I think she's a black woman from Britain.
Yeah.
She's great from Great Britain, the UK. Very pretty. Did I say that part? She's very pretty.
Yeah.
I think she's very pretty.
I hope she sticks around for a while.
Yeah, I would like to see that too.
To be, people are probably not gonna like me for this, but Souffle Girl stuck around for too long. Just a season too long, I think.
I'm not gonna say she didn't, but then again, we got people out there that didn't like Rose, and I liked Rose.
Rose was awesome.
I liked Rose.
The problem with Rose is, or the reason why people don't like Rose is because Rose was supposed to be a chav. That was the character. She's urban, kind of annoying, materialistic, brand obsessed. She was lowbrow chav. That's what she was when they started, but they did a lot of good character development with her. She wasn't a chav when she left the show.
No, she was my girl when she left the show. Yeah. She had a special place in my heart when she left. But
the bad wolf herself.
Huh?
The bad wolf herself.
I loved her. I don't care what anybody says. I loved her. She was awesome. I love Rose. I'm a Rose fan.
I'm honestly still pissed off about 9. I don't understand. Like, I mean, I understand that he didn't like the working conditions and that he couldn't basically continue to play the role and be happy with his job.
Right.
And I know that's why he left, but there were just so many good stories that could have been told with him that didn't get to be told because...
But his thing was, he always said, I wanted to be a part of bringing it back, and I wanted to be a part of making it successful. And he did that.
Yeah.
That season was what it was because of him. Mm-hmm.
But it did make for probably the greatest Dr. fucking Tennant's intro episode.
Yes. When
he's fucking on top of that alien ship fighting with a goddamn sword, gets his hand cut off.
Yeah.
That speech that he gives, fuck, that was good.
Bro, let me tell you, Doctor Who gave some speeches that you knew Doctor Who was a badass. This guy has more speeches on that show where you go, this man's a badass. He will kill a whole alien race to protect what he loves and believes in. Mm-hmm. He does not care. And he's not even a sociopath. He will just lay you to waste. Do not fuck with this man. And that's one thing I've always loved about Doctor Who. He's very British. He's very proper. But he is a badass at all times. Never forget, he is a badass at all times.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people resonate with that. Man, I could get into this. We talked about this one before. Tesla cars.
So...
Okay, we did an episode where a woman wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know if she was asleep, but she did something.
No.
And
okay, so Elon Musk giveth and Elon Musk taketh away.
That's pretty much the line you hit me with when you sent me this story.
So the original story was the woman was using the auto drive system on a rural road. Mm-hmm. There was a semi crossing the road in front of her. She was watching a portable DVD player, not paying attention. The car's software is set in such a way that it ignores lights that are above a certain footage above the road because it assumes that those lights are like an overhead pass or something like that. It's nothing to worry about. So the car plows into said semi, woman dies. Terrible story.
Right.
So this is the complete opposite of that.
This is the most amazing story
this
ever.
Is a Tesla auto drove its occupant to a hospital while he was suffering from a pulmonary embolism.
Think about what you just said. Tesla car drives owner to hospital.
Yeah.
After he suffers a pulmonary embolism. Just fucking saying it sounds badass.
That's like if your dog could call the ambulance or could put you on its back and like run you to the fucking hospital if you had a stroke.
Yeah. And here's the thing about this. Not only is this a badass story, this took place in the U.S. This took place in Springfield, Missouri. He took him from Springfield, Missouri to Branson. Around 20 miles for our fans overseas, 32 kilometers down the road. This was not a short, he only drove him like across town, 5 miles, 10 miles, in town. He took him 20 freaking miles down the road to a hospital.
So, I mean, and it's not like the car did this automatically. The car wasn't like, oh God, the guy's dying, I've got to take him to a hospital. He started having issues. He decided instead of stopping the car and calling an ambulance that he would just use the in-car navigation system to find the nearest hospital and then tell the auto drive system to go there.
Yeah, he said, and that blew me away. He said that instead of, doing a call for an ambulance, he decided to find a hospital using his car's self-driving mode. That hospital was 20 miles down the road. He said the only thing he did, he manually steered the electric vehicle into the car park and checked himself into the emergency room. That was all he did.
Yeah.
The car did the whole thing of getting him to where he needed to be. Bro, I'm blown away by this story. I am really, really just more impressed with this auto driving cars. The more we get, I want to hear more stories like this. I really do, because I just thought, wow, this is crazy. Now, we have covered some crazy stories where there have been some tragic deaths. But as with any new technology, it says very clearly, hey, you can't just abandon driving. You still need to be aware. Yeah. This is an aid to you. But, where people, if you're watching a movie and you're not paying attention to it, you could get hurt. Okay. Yeah. And that is what it is. You sent me something that has become you're geeking out about this.
We're going in the opposite direction of technology.
You're going our show has been about technology. You are going to something, you're geeking out about something this is Iron Age, like totally as far from our technology as we can be.
But that's the thing is like this is around us all the time. Like
if we don't think about it though.
Fences, like the fences here, the fences next door. A fucking factory didn't make that shit. Some craftsman made it. Someone in their garage, in their workspace, handcrafted things. Handcrafted wrought iron fences, handcrafted doorknobs, taking things, taking raw metal and making things out of it. Making knives, making swords, making armor. Like there's a bunch of different YouTube channels that are out there that are about crafting of things. Like there's a whole channel where they do nothing but make movie swords and props, and like they've made Link's sword and Link's shield, and they've made katanas, and they've remade swords from famous movies and stuff like that. But in those shows, they don't really explain why or how or what they're doing or why they're doing it. They're just showing you the process.
Right. But this thing you found.
This one's called Essential Craftsman. And it's a guy, I believe his son is doing the filming and the editing and the uploading and stuff like that. But he's only got 5 or so videos right now, but he's slowly cataloging how to do stuff, like how he makes textured bolts, how he created a forge that he needed from scratch.
Yeah, a large blacksmith forge, original design is the name of the video.
Yeah.
And you sent this to me, and I was like, is this because he watched the Warcraft movie? Does he want to make swords? But it went deeper than that.
Yeah.
I want you to tell people, you said something to me, and I thought it was like, crap, this is kind of cool. I did not know this about you.
Had I probably been born like, a couple 100 years ago, 200-300 years ago, or maybe even as close as like, the end of the 1900s, the end of the 1800s into the 1900s.
Right.
I probably would fucking be a blacksmith.
Straight up. You were hyped about it. Like when you told me this the first time, I saw there is a light in your eye. You got passionate about this story. Like, no, I really like this whole idea of the blacksmith and what he stood for and what he did.
It's technology. If we didn't have blacksmiths, we would not be where we are now.
Okay.
We wouldn't be where we are technologically. We wouldn't be where we are agriculturally. We wouldn't. Everything that leads into modern society came from a blacksmith's forge. everything.
You don't think about that, but yeah. Yeah, no, that's seriously.
And so, like, he's even got a video where he breaks down a blacksmith anvil into its constituent parts and what you can do with them and why they're there and why, you know, how big of an anvil you should have, like all this cool shit. But yeah, it's called Essential Craftsman. I'll post a link to it and stuff. I'm probably going to post all the show note links, but it's just riveting. Like, they're not long videos either, but they're very dense and packed with things. Like, there's a whole video in here where he's showing you this power hammer that he got.
Oh, the 200-pound Chambersburg blacksmith power hammer. And this, I know the video, and it's a little over 8 minutes long.
Yeah, and this power hammer that he's got, like, it's he believes that it came from a U.S. Navy ship. He thinks that it was stashed somewhere on a U.S. Navy ship, probably around the end of World War II, and that it eventually made its way to him via auctions and things like that, and he finally got a hold of it. And it has surprisingly modern features for something that's, you know, 60 years old, 70 years old at least.
Right.
You know, you can start it up. You can do a continuous pound at a particular height using the foot pedal. You can do a pound and hold, like you can drop the hammer down and then hold the hammer on something. You can do an individual strike, which is something that a lot of the auto hammers don't do now. And it's big, it's massive. It's like it's something that was made for making parts for a fucking destroyer.
Yeah, no, and it's in his workshop.
It's in his workshop. It's big, and but it's not that. It's not like it's, you know, takes up a whole room.
But yeah, no, it takes up a nice.
It's a
telephone
machine.
booth.
Yeah,
it looks about a little bit taller than a telephone booth would look, and it takes up a chunk of room. But it's nice. But here's what messed me up. You sent it to me, and I was like, "What is this?" And then the next thing I know, 5 minutes has passed, and you're more than halfway through the video, but it's riveting.
Yeah,
that was the words you used, and I was like, Brandon has lost it. He has freaking lost his mind. And I started watching it, and I said, no, this actually is really riveting. This is
the
really
best pun too for this is it's riveting.
Yeah, it really. It is so good, and I was so impressed with it.
And like in this thing where he's showing you the power hammer, like he's actually using the power hammer while he's showing you it. Like he shows you all the parts, he primes it, he preps it, he starts using it, and you're watching him forge a sword that he's been commissioned to make for someone. And he's like, you know, I love making swords and stuff, but this is the only way that I can do that. I don't have a lot of time left to sit around and fucking hand forge a goddamn sword. This does the work that I need it to do, and it does it well, and it does it just as well as I could do if I was using a hammer and forging it manually.
What I want, if you watch nothing else from this, my favorite video, it's a toss-up between the videos. Okay, there are two videos. I like this one. Mm-hmm. I really do like this one. There was another one that he had on there. I thought it was really cool. It was kind of like the whole how to make textured bolt heads.
Yeah.
That was kind of neat. I didn't watch that whole thing, but I thought that's kind of neat. And then, but this one here, if you like the idea of making swords and want to kind of see what goes into it, you seriously need to do this one.
Like even in like books and stuff like that, have you ever read The Wheel of Time?
I have not.
Sweet Jesus, it is a chore, but it is good. Mm-hmm. There's a couple of books where you if you can get past book 10. Because there's 14 books. Mm-hmm. Robert Jordan, when he was writing them, he was unfortunately dying. And so he commissioned Brandon Sanderson to come in and use his notes to finish the series.
Right.
So Brandon Sanderson comes in at the last, I want to say it's the last 3 books, 11, 12, and 13. Mm-hmm. 10 is really rough. It's a difficult thing to get to because 10 is kind of the center of a Gordian knot. It's tying together all of these threads that have been weaving through the last 9 books that are going to lead up to the end of everything. So if you can get past 10, you'll be able to finish the series pretty easily. But in one of the books, I want to say it's 11 or 12, one of the characters who, when they start the adventure at the very beginning, was a blacksmith's apprentice actually forges his own hammer. And it was that section of that book was the best part of the whole series for me, because it's just awesome the way that it's written. It's beautiful. Like, he's just talking about losing himself in the forging of this warhammer, and in that process of losing himself in it, he's actually weaving magic and he doesn't realize it.
Wow.
And he imbues this hammer and then subsequently winds up using that hammer to kick some fucking ass in the last book. But yeah, it's just one of those things. I think, honestly, if I would have been born a long time ago, where this forge that I have here that makes podcasts,
yes,
wasn't a thing, I'd probably be at a forge like that.
Let me ask you this. Let's just say one day I played the lottery and I hit the big one. And I've already told you, hey, if I hit the big one, you have to quit your job and we do this full time.
Yeah.
Let's just say I hit 173 million and you know how many kids I got, so I'm not going to have a lot. But I just say, bro, here's 6 million. You quit the job, would you be a blacksmith in PC and maybe...
If I didn't have anything else to do, yeah.
If you had nothing else, I mean, because let's face it, I dropped 6 million on you, and you're probably going to have 20 million in a year because you're going to figure out a way to make it grow. You're probably just going to invest in Vive.
Well, I mean, if you invest properly and just live off the
interest
and the dividends of whatever you've invested in, if you invest wisely, you never actually have to touch the original amount.
Exactly. But man, you would definitely. You're a blacksmith.
I try it, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, this video, if I think this 200-pound Chambersburg blacksmith power hammer video is so unlike anything we've ever discussed on the show. And what's so weird is that we have it playing in the background while we're doing the show. But I've caught us both too. I keep catching us staring at this, and like we're watching it, like this is the most fascinating thing I've ever seen. I have to keep looking away from it to look at you so we can keep the show going.
It's the fascination of watching somebody craft something. I think that's the other thing too. Is there's another series that Anthony Bourdain does that's essentially just nothing but an advertisement for a particular brand of bourbon.
Right.
But it's called Raw Craft with Anthony Bourdain, and he does the documentary, basically what he does on his show. If you've ever watched Parts Unknown, which is
loved it,
one of my favorite shows ever, he goes around to various craftsmen and they film them doing their trade. Like, one guy makes cast iron skillets, another guy makes bespoke suits. That's all he does. He maybe makes 12 of them a year, but the 12 that he makes are some of the finest suits that you'll ever get if you're lucky enough to be able to get in there to get one. And then he goes to another place where they do bookbinding by hand. Like, they hand bind books. All kinds of other shit. It's just fascinating to fucking watch. Like, I could watch it all fucking day.
Yeah, no, I promise you, guys, we're going to put a link of this on our page, but I promise you, if you want to watch a master class on somebody crafting, and it's done amazingly well, and it's very educational and informative, and I think a lot of our friends, they have that mind. You know, hell, we had Reed Griffin on just a couple weeks ago, and he does documentary filmmaker. This is something that's right up his alley. This is the kind of films he does. So it's definitely something that I think people would like. And while it may be totally different than the stuff we do, I am blown away by it. Man, this was kind of fun. I know this was kind of a weird episode because we really covered a lot of stuff that had fallen through the cracks. And so I've had a blast doing this one, man. Is there anything else that we have that maybe we didn't miss? I think we covered everything.
I don't even know.
I think we got everything. I think we are now officially, we're caught up.
We're caught up?
We're caught up. Everything that we wanted to discuss, we have discussed now. I really think now I can go into, you can go into your vacation and we can get ready for our time off. Feeling really good about what's going on, man. Once again, guys, we're here because of you. And we really, I can't say this enough. I can't thank you people enough that have subscribed to the show, that are listening to the podcast, that write us emails all the time. we are really, really, really getting to live out a dream because you write us and you talk to us and you send us stuff. Thank you. We love you. We appreciate it. Please follow us on social media. And we're always open to the ideas that you send us for the show. And I say that because before we leave, there's something that we did forget.
What?
And it was brought to us, and we need to say this before we cut out of here. M. Night Shyamalan. Are you aware of his Tales from the Crypt remake?
Shamalama Ding Dong is redoing Tales from the Crypt?
Night Shamalama Ding Dong. He's bringing us Tales from the Crypt. Yes!
No, that's the worst.
He is actually involved with the remaking of Tales from the Crypt. He is actually seeking online help for horror stories.
Just the fact that anybody is willing to give him any money for anything at this point is ridiculous.
Okay.
You need to talk about a career that went from 10 to 0 in a matter of seconds.
He gave us The Sixth Sense.
Yeah, and Unbreakable. 2
amazing films. Both had Bruce Willis in it, so let's still say 2 amazing films. I like The Lady in the Water. It's not a popular thing to say, but I liked it. It wasn't the worst
thing I bet you liked
seen.
Fucking Avatar too, didn't you? Or not Avatar. What was the stupid thing?
Yeah, The Last Airbender.
The Last Airbender, yeah.
I watched it on the big
Avatar.
Screen. I did, yeah. I watched it on a big screen, but not at the theater. Let's say it like that. I didn't go to the theater to watch it, but I did watch it on a big screen.
Just from the groaning online, I knew that movie was a shit show.
Yeah, bro. It was the BVS of its time. Let me just say that. It caught heat. It was... you know what I think I'm doing? M. Night Shyamalan is the Kanye West of movies. We're still waiting for him to give us a classic because he gave us classics, but we're starting to realize we're probably in an abusive relationship and he's never going to go back to the way we want him to be.
I think that he's one of those people who had some really great ideas, but those really great ideas took a very long time to ferment.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like the first album for a really good band.
Mm-hmm.
They have their whole lives to make that first album. And then after that, it's all fucking downhill from there because it took 25 years to make that first album, and you've only got 2 years to put the next one out.
Exactly.
And with him, he wasn't an overflowing well of talent to begin with, and
he gave us the movies that he had been wanting to make his whole life. Yeah, those first 2 came out.
He should have just stopped after that.
Nobody stopped.
That's one thing that Kevin Smith at least was smart enough to do. At one point he was just like, look, I don't have anything left that's good enough to be put on film for me to say. So he stopped.
And then he came back and gave us Tusk.
Before that, he gave us Red State, which...
Okay, first of all, that's a good movie.
That's one of the best fucking movies. That's better. That's the best movie he's ever made.
I'm gonna tell you
it's better
something.
than Mallrats. It's better than Clerks. It's better than Clerks 2. It's better than everything. It's better than Chasing Amy.
The year Red State came out, there was another film that I thought was really amazing. That was called God Bless America.
Yeah. God Bless America. That was Bobcat Goldthwait that did that movie.
I watched both films the same year.
Yeah.
So you know where I was at pretty much that year when I watched God Bless America and
Red State.
And Red State the same year. Like within almost the same time when I watched them both.
Yeah.
Those are 2 great films. And so... And bless you, my friend. And yeah, I mean, it was just, bro. Kevin gave me that. Kevin, he gave us a lot of great films. Now, a lot of people say, "Oh, I hated Jersey Girl." I watched Jersey Girl with my wife, and it's one of our favorite movies. But at that time, my daughters were getting older, and I was starting to get kind of into chick flicks. Jersey Girl's not a bad chick flick from a guy.
He put it really well on his podcast one time when he was talking about the reason why he quit, and it was because he wasn't aiming where the puck was going. He was aiming where the puck was.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a big hockey nut. So what he's basically talking about is like, when you're going to shoot, you're not shooting for where the puck is currently right now. So you're not going to go try to hit the puck where it is because that puck is always moving. It's always sliding towards something else. It's always going in another direction. So you've got to figure out where it's going before it gets there and get there first.
Exactly.
And he stopped being able to do that.
Yeah, man, but he'll always have a soft spot in my heart. I will always be a Kevin Smith fan. Yeah. And like I say, when he announced Tusk, I got excited for it.
Yeah. I mean, and now he just doesn't give a shit. He makes shit that pleases him. The only person that he cares about at the end of the day that's going to be pleased with his work is himself. And if he likes the movie that he makes, then that's it. That's all he really cares about.
He's at the point where he's like, I can make a pet project and fund the damn thing myself.
Yeah.
And
it doesn't take much to make a Kevin Smith movie, a couple hundred grand. It's like the reason why fucking Adam Sandler still gets movies, because Adam Sandler's movies are cheap, and there is a demographic who will watch them
every freaking time, and we need to do that. We've been talking about this. I think we can announce it now. We are going to be coming with some anime specials soon. Yeah. And I think we can go ahead and say that now. We got some anime specials coming. We're going to be doing one in about a week, maybe 2 weeks. I think we're going to come back in, and we're going to do our mid-season cap for summer 2016. And we'll just kind of run through what we like. And so we might need to do a Kevin Smith episode one day. Yeah. I would really like to sit down and let's go through his films, man, one by one, and let's break them down. Because he is very influential on some of the stuff that you and I have done in our careers. And so that would be awesome to do. Guys, once again, we're out of here. We appreciate you for listening. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook. We'll be back at you. Same Team Lift time. Same Team Lift channel. Brandon, my man, have a wonderful vacation. Get some rest.
Yeah, like that's going to happen.
Try to get some rest. At least take a fucking nap one day. That's all I ask. Take a nap and we'll get back at it, man, when you come back in town.
I'll take a nap after post and uploads and getting this to where it needs to go.
All right, brother. Man, we appreciate you, and you take care of yourself. Everybody, thank you for listening. Peace. Thanks for listening to the Team Lift Podcast with your hosts, Brendan Bowie and Roderick McDaniel. Join us again next week as we discuss more topics from geek culture. Be sure to follow us on our Twitter page at GoTeamLift, as well as our personal pages at Coach Silky and at Thighside. You can direct questions or comments to us on our Twitter page, as well as find links to all of our social media outlets. Thank you for listening. See you again next week.